Welcome everyone to Midwest Tree ID. On this channel, it is my mission to help you learn an abundance of trees that grow right here in the Midwest, and some key features on how to identify them. There's just one thing to clarify before we begin. We're not going to be throwing hatred or ridiculing any of the species that we're going to be talking about. But we do, however, want to encourage thoughtful conversation in the comments about personal experiences and things like that. Please try to remember that everything has value and that we are here to enjoy nature and everything it has to offer. So without anything else, let's jump right in. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're in Nauvoo, Illinois, and we're taking a look at Albizia julibrissin. This is going to be the mimosa tree or common silk tree. Definitely kind of somewhat uncommon to find throughout a lot of the Midwest, as it's not hardy through a lot of the Midwest, but it still can be found in very select spots at microclimates and things like that. But we're going to take a look first here at the pinnately to bipinnate compound leaves. So yeah, they're going to have numerous little tiny leaflets here. They're not even an inch long, not even half an inch long. But yeah, they're very, very ferny, and yeah, they're kind of pleasant to play with here. And then we got the flowers. So the flowers are really difficult to describe. In this case, they look like pink little hairy tufts, almost like the hair on a troll doll is kind of the best way I could kind of describe them. And they are pink in this case. There are some in other parts of the country that might have red or orange, but these are also very, very fragrant. So they're very great for pollinators. Pollinators absolutely love these. And we're also seeing some of the early stages of some of the seed pods here. So they look very similar to like your stereotypical bean pod, except right now there's no seed developed in there yet, but that'll probably be coming in the next few months. So that's pretty much going to do it for the flowers and the leaves and the pods. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bark here, and then we'll kind of take a look at the habit. So the bark on the mimosas are going to be pretty smooth. With age, if you can find some that are a little older, they can be a little bit exfoliating, just a little bit. You can kind of see that a little bit in there. But for the most part, they're going to be pretty smooth with some of these little orange speckles on them a little bit. And kind of that dull grayish color, almost a green in some cases. So these are kind of mass planted here along the road. So it's kind of difficult to actually get a good scope of what the habit looks like, but they do tend to be very spreading, low and squatty typically, and then with quite a spread. You might only see them get to be about 15 feet in height, and then with a spread of probably twice that in some cases. There's probably 4 or 5 different plants planted right along in here. And you can kind of get a good idea of the effect when they're in flower. The flower is just really cool. And then again, they are really fragrant. And with that loose, lacy leaf, it's a really cool effect. But yeah, they don't always grow super well throughout most of the central Midwest. So this is actually one of the better establishments I've seen of mimosa trees in the zone 5, zone 6 range. Which is actually kind of impressive. You know, back in Champaign area, Bloomington area of Illinois, you can still see quite a few that are doing relatively well, but it's not real common to find. But here in Nauvoo, they seem to be doing extremely well, and we're in the same growing zone. So that's kind of an exciting thing to see. Other aspects of this tree, there are some areas in which this tree is considered highly invasive. It is not considered that here in much of the Midwest due to it taking it's very susceptible to frost damage in most of the Midwest, the central Midwest and northern Midwest. So if you get down into the South and things like that, it does have a much higher tendency to self-seed. Without really having observed that, I'm not going to place it anywhere on the prolific index. I have nothing to gauge it or judge it by. But it is not native to the United States. It is native to parts of Asia, like China and Taiwan primarily. But it can still be a really cool addition, very unique, something kind of special, if you can get it growing and get it growing well in your landscape. So it does need to be in kind of a little bit of a protected spot in order to keep it from those real bitter winter winds that we still get, despite the fact that our growing zone has shifted a bit. But guys, I think that's going to pretty much sum it up for the mimosa. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next one.